In this video, I will provide you with part 1, which will be a basic stairway layout suggestion for winder stairs. And in the second part of the video, I will provide you with an example of how you might be able to assemble a small 2-story house like this one. And for those of you who are not familiar, I do have another channel, and the house framing construction was already uploaded on that one. But for those of you who don't, here it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at the winder stairs here, and keep in mind that this type of winder stairway might not be approved by your local building department. But for those of you where it is, and you're going to build something like this, let's go ahead and take a look at the most important part of the design. And that's going to be the lines you're going to lay out on the floor, or concrete foundation, or raised floor, whatever you're going to be dealing with. So we're going to be going up the stairway like this, and the 3 upper treads are going to line up with the 3 lower treads. And then we're simply going to use a 30-degree angle to locate this mark and this mark. So obviously this one will go straight through, and then we're going to do the same for these 2 over here. And I do have other videos on how to lay out the 30-degree line. And you're going to be able to find those at our website in the home building section, and then the stairs, and then simply click on the winder stairs link on that web page. And for those of you who need some measurements, here they are, 10-inch treads. And then we have a 3-foot by 3-foot winder section with 3 steps, and then another 3-foot by 3-foot winder section with 3 steps. And if you are allowed to build your winder stairs like this, you might be able to add another step into each one of these sections. So instead of having 3 steps, we would have 4 steps. But again, you would need to check with your local building department to verify that information. And next up, part 2, let's go ahead and take a look at the home that these stairs might be able to fit into. Here is a tiny house that I built. It is 10 foot wide, 20 foot long, and I found a set of plans on the internet to build it. And believe it or not, I know you're going to be shocked, there is no possible way I could have gotten the stairs to work the way they had it drawn. And I'm not suggesting I couldn't have made the tread shorter and the risers taller, but that's not what I wanted to do. They basically had the kitchen and the stairway in this area here, and I went ahead and moved the kitchen over to this area here. And the kitchen isn't going to be very big, but you can make it bigger if you want to move your refrigerator. And if you need more information about certain details, feel free to leave that in the comment area. And now, of course, would be a good time to mention that you would need to check with your local building authorities and engineers to verify whether or not you're allowed to build this type of project in your area. Now, we do have 10-inch treads, 7.5-inch tall risers. However, it's the winder stair design that isn't going to meet some building codes. It will meet other building codes, but it's not going to meet the building codes where I live in Southern California. Or should I say, it might not meet them, because you never know what's going to be approved or what's not going to be approved until you ask. Now, I did put a closet underneath the stairway, but I didn't put any of my fire blocks in. But I did put some hangers in to support the stair stringers. And I would imagine that a lot of the winder section, for example, the areas here, might require building hardware to make better connections in this area here. On this side here, I built plenty of stairs like this, where they're sitting on top of some 2x4 posts. But right here is where the problem could be, where we have smaller sections sitting on top of other smaller sections that, of course, are sitting on top of other smaller sections. And for all of you do-it-yourselfers out there who make YouTube videos, now you can copy this video. Believe it or not, I take it as a compliment when someone copies my stuff, or at the very least looks like they've copied my stuff, because they've almost made the exact same video. Next up, let's go ahead and install the floor joist, 2x8, spaced 16 inches on center. And of course, we have our ceiling backing in there. And the stairs will connect to a double joist. And I have a little funky thing over here that your engineer might not approve. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So basically what I did was used a single hanger here. However, you could always use a double inverted hanger here or concealed hanger. And you're going to need to be really careful driving these nails in over here to avoid splitting this part of the stair stringer off. And let's go ahead and put our doubler back together. Let's go ahead and swing over. Give you another view of this area here. And I just barely have 3 foot in the clear here also. And that could become a problem if we install the upper guardrail incorrectly. And don't forget that some of these closets do require fire-rated assemblies and sometimes even fire sprinklers. Top view of it there. And of course, a nice stairway design. These stairs took me almost as much time to build as the entire rest of the house. I mean, I think it took me about 20 minutes to build the floor, and I'd be shocked if it even took that. Floor sheathing, 3/4 inch OSB, and you can see where I extended the riser all the way across. The reason why I did that was so that I could get a little better nailing for my hanger by moving the hanger back a little farther away from the front edge of the stair stringer. Next up, let's go ahead and install the upper wall framing, and let's go ahead and take a tour of that. Going to have a bathroom here. You can see where the bathroom is hogging up a lot of room here. Remember, this is 10 foot wide on the outside. It's a little smaller on the inside, and I think this is just a little bit over 7 feet here. But I did the best I could with the bathroom, and I do have another idea for the bathroom because I think we could move it to the front of the building so that we could get rid of this hallway here. Hallways, remember, are wasted space, and in tiny homes, you can't or shouldn't have any hallways. And I went ahead and put the windows on this side here. You can always put some on the front. If you use a moment frame, I do not know if something like this could be built without steel. And if this video does well, I'll be glad to provide a little more information about that. Now, I also went ahead and provided you with a flat ceiling here so that you wouldn't need to build any rake walls or angled walls here and then cut seat cuts on your rafter. Instead, what we're going to do is install rip strips on top. So this is just a 2x4 that's been ripped in half at an angle. And I do have other videos on that. If you need more information, you should be able to find it at the website or on YouTube. And these will just simply nail to the top of the ceiling joist. And we're using 2x8. You might need to use thicker joist in areas where it snows, or you might be required to use thicker insulation or even have a space for ventilation above the insulation but below the roof sheathing. And for the fascia board, if you've watched some of my videos before, I'm going to use a 2x4 spacer here and then attach the fascia board to those spacers. You can always use a 1x here, 1x4, and you can see where we got a nice angle on the top, but it's flat on the bottom. Let's go ahead and install our roof sheathing and then take a final look at what this building might look like if you framed it in your backyard. So again, if you have any questions, because I really don't know how well it would hold up if a strong wind came and blew from this side or the other side, I think it could just knock this baby right over. And if this isn't bad enough, I saw one of these that was 3 stories. And I would imagine that's going to require a lot more steel to prevent that one from falling over. Hold on, it's not over yet. In the next part of the video, I will provide you with a few methods you can use to shape the lumber used at the top of the roof framing. How they could create a sloped roof on a flat roof or a structure with level joist. And to do that, we're going to need to figure out the length of the roof that is going to be sloping. And in our example here, we're going to be using 10 feet, a 20-foot span that we will be breaking up into 2 sections. Now, the minimum slope for a roof is usually going to be 1/4 inch per foot. And an example of that would be that it needs to rise 1/4 inch vertically for every 12 inches horizontally. And if I take 1/4 inch and multiply it by 10, I'm going to end up with 2.5 inches allowing us to use a 2x4 that is 3.5 inches. Remember, I said the minimum slope is going to be 1/4 of an inch per foot. However, it can always be larger unless specified on the building plans. And that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to use a 2x4 and just simply draw a line from one side to the other side, and then simply cut the piece of wood into 2 pieces. Then I'm going to take each piece and attach it to the existing roof. And you can use nails or building hardware to do something like this. Obviously, you won't be able to use a 3¼ inch nail on the sections that might be larger than 2 inches, but you can definitely use the nails on the lower part of the rip strips. And then we're going to use toenails to attach the larger sections, or the taller sections, I should say, that we wouldn't be able to drive a nail straight down through the top of it in. And you're going to need to have the angled nails on both sides. Maybe 16 inches on center, 24 inches on center. And you can always use building hardware if you need to. And for something like this, I would try to block it after if you could. I like to block it like this with a larger block that will help me connect all of these pieces together. However, if you're working with an existing building, you might not be able to do that. You'll just use smaller blocks. And hopefully all of this makes sense. However, if it doesn't, make sure you leave any questions you have in the comment area, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible.